Hey everyone, this time on Tim Talks Audio, we check out Master.io. Master.io is a website of online mastering, and we've heard about these before. Things like Lander, there's a bunch of other options out there where you just upload your song, wait a couple minutes, and then get a louder, mastered version of our songs back a couple minutes later. Master, on the other hand, is developed by Jason Maas, somebody who has tons of experience mixing and mastering music, and he's taken a new spin on this. And it's actually something that I can get behind, which for online mastering, I'm not the biggest fan of. But with Master, it's a little bit different. So let's dive into the computer and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so here we are inside my browser and we're logged into Master.io. That's Maastr.io. And there will be a link in the description below. And once you're logged in and signed up, this is your homepage when you've done nothing in here before. So when you've done nothing before, what you need to start doing is creating your project. Maybe you're working on a single or an EP or an album. You can do a bunch of different things. We're just going to do a single song right now, but you can do this with multiple songs as well. So I'm just going to come in over here and I'm going to create a new project, and it's going to open up this pop-up box. We can give our project a name. We can name the artist because we're probably working with an artist and we want them properly credited, and it'll embed that into the metadata. And then we can drag our tracks. You can either do this by browsing from your computer or you can drag and drop as well, which is really handy. So let me go ahead and fill in some of these things and get my track ready. Okay, I have everything filled in and I have Finder open in the background, so I'm just going to Command Tab over real quick. Okay, so here's the song I want to drag into Master. I'm just going to bring it over and drag it right on top of where it says drag and drop. Now if we flip back over, we can enter the track name. So this is called The Fix. And we can put description words into here. And I know that this is version 1.1. It's the baseline that I want to send to them. And the reason I'm sending them a mastered version is so that they can kind of get an idea of what it's going to sound like at the very end. I can send them the mix because we have that, but I also want to give them a reference of what it could sound like mastered. Now we get into one of the really cool things about Master is this, where it says normal neutral. That's actually a selection button. And when we come into here, we get this little 3x3 grid that gives us lots of options. We can go with gentle mastering and maybe something more on the dark side. And you can go anywhere from there. You can go dark and loud, or you can go bright and normal. So loud will give you just that, a louder master. Normal is just kind of your regular everyday master. And then gentle is some gentler stuff. And you can use the selections on the left depending on whatever kind of program material you're sending into Master. And then you can also choose to go between dark, neutral, and bright. And this is how it will adjust or modify the EQ settings of the master. So this is kind of a thrash metal-y, fast-paced kind of song. And I know that I'm going to want this loud because the band is going to want it loud. And I think I'm going to go with something a little dark. So let's go with loud and dark. And once we have that in, you can see here's our selection and all of our notes. Now all we have to do is create project. And what this will do is we'll upload the song and it will start the processing, analyzing the song, and use a bunch of the algorithms built in and developed by Jason Maas himself to then master this song loud and dark. I'm going to fast forward through this next bit, but I'm going to hit create project now and let it do its thing. And there you go. After a couple minutes, it goes through all of its processes, and then you can just click on it, and it's going to bring you straight to the track. Here's some more cool stuff. Once you click into your track, you can see a waveform representation on the screen. You can listen to your master right then and there, and there's this quick A/B button, so you can listen to your original versus what Master has done to your track. I'm going to hit play and we're going to hear the mastered, and I'm going to go back to the original, and you are going to hear a massive volume change because we went with the loud option. But really what you should be listening for is what it did to the track to help enhance it. It shouldn't hurt the song at all. It should just enhance it based on the choices that you made in that 3x3 grid.
Liar's eyes. Battered victimized. Warning, force me to drink.
So you can hear immediately, of course, it's louder, but that's not the only thing that it's doing. It is taming some of that top end, but without really pulling any of the definition away. Because we chose dark, we just kind of balanced out what was happening in the track. And I heard it before, and I knew that maybe there was some stuff up on the top end that was bugging me, which is why I went with dark. Now here's where things get really cool. Once you have this in and you like what you have, you can share it with the artist and every member of the band or whatever project you're working on. And then you can leave time-stamped notes right within Master so that everybody can see them. And if there are any changes, if you need to go back and make some modifications, you can do that. And everything is kept right in Master so that I, as the mix engineer, can reference what the guitar player said, what the drummer said, what the bass player is interested in. And you can use all of the notes to go back, maybe adjust the mix, and then come back, throw it back into Master, make some minor adjustments on the 3x3 grid if you even need to, and then send them the revision, because it's all within one place. It's in the project that you've created, and you can have them associated as collaborators within that project. Then when we're here, let's say everybody's like, you know what, this sounds awesome, let's go with it. You know what? You can download the master right here next to the A/B buttons. You can just download and you have it. Also, something you can do is you can lock the comments. This way, once everybody says, hey, this is awesome, you can lock the comments and then not get something 2 weeks later saying, actually, you know what? You can just lock the discussion. If they want to bring it up, then they'll have to message you in whatever way you've decided is the best form of contact, and then they can ask for the revisions there. Within the waveform, you can also navigate to different areas of your song, or if you have multiple songs, you can flip through them with the forward and back buttons here, but because we only did one, it's not giving me that option. I'm going to go back to their EP, and now we can see here's the song, here's the project name, and it has been processed. When we click on the three buttons, we can rename it if we need to, download from here as well, or maybe you made a quick mistake because you were trying to do things really fast and you put it in the wrong project. You can move it to a different project from here, or just delete it completely. Also, what you can do underneath actions, if you have multiple tracks, you can reorder them, and you and the collaborators or the artist can listen to the songs in order, or you can delete the whole project if you need to as well. On the left-hand side is just the logo, but if you have a picture of the band or the album art, you can put that in here as well. Clicking on Preview Tracks opens up a player on the bottom of the screen and goes right into song 1. And then you can skip through your different songs here with the navigation buttons on bottom. Now let's talk about the important bit, and that is pricing. This is a paid service, but it is a monthly or yearly subscription style service. And if you're churning out a lot of projects, and a number of these projects maybe don't have the budget to go to a dedicated mastering engineer, such as Jason Maas, Brandon Alshouse, or any number of different mastering engineers that are out there, then you as the studio owner and the mix engineer can say, well, you know what, I can help you out. You can bring it to master if you don't want to master it yourself, and it's not that expensive. Here, we have the Home Studio Wiz at $10 a month, full master previews, project collaboration, paid wave download. That means there's a paywall to get the wave files. And the one restriction with the Home Studio is you only have limited dynamic range and color settings. That's that 3x3 grid. Once you move up to the Studio Expert, You get everything you had in the home studio version, but you also get free MP3 downloads. Those are the quick transfers that you can use as reference and not the ones you're actually going to upload or release. Then you can also do the multiple dynamic and color settings. That's the 3x3 grid. Then if you're doing a lot of work and you go with the industry, you now also get the new feature previews. Jason Maas and his team are always working on upgrading and updating Master.io, so you'll be one of the first to get these updates and see the new features as they roll out, and then eventually they will trickle down to the Studio Expert or the home studio versions as well. Now, I'm not saying online mastering is the end-all be-all and where the industry is going. It is a great tool to have. It is not always the only tool to use, though, because when you work with a mastering engineer, they are going to tailor the mastering process to each individual song. Now, we can do a lot in here, more so than some of the other options that are out there. But working with a mastering engineer, they'll add an extra sense of depth, an extra sense of width. They'll adjust the compressors to be perfect for whatever your project or source material is. Something like Master.io is definitely handy for the lower budget projects you're going to be working on, or if you just want to send a pseudo master to your clients so that they get an understanding of what it could sound like. Then you send it off to the mastering engineer as a reference to say, like, we've been listening to it like this, but we know you can do better. Show us what you got. If you're interested in checking out Master.io, use the link down in the description. That's all for now. If you found anything informative, please like and share the video. For booking information, check out timflansbaum.com. And if you have a question, ask it in the comments and I'll answer it in a future video. Thanks for watching.